Hey there, how you all doing? So since I've put up the stuff about the Ford Mustang Mach-E, look back at my previous post, I went to see it in Marble Arch. There's an event on there that's on actually up till the 21st of February. I put the full details in the motoring section of BritishAsianNews.com, which I write for, and also there's a video on my YouTube channel. Make sure, if you're watching this on YouTube on this channel, make sure that you're there and you're checking it out. Liking, sharing, subscribing, all the rest of it. But since I put that up, a few people have messaged me and they've said, well, what do you think of the Ford Mustang? And I've got a very lovely relationship with the Ford Mustang. I absolutely adore them. I've driven all kinds over the years, new, old ones, classics, Shelbys, Roushes, all of them. I've adored every single one and really enjoyed the experience every single time. I really rate them. In fact, I named it I named the Ford Mustang my car of the decade for last decade. So that's how much passion I have for the vehicle. So that's one of the reasons actually that I went down to have a look at the Mach-E. I really wanted to see, whether it in any way captures the essence of that. And a few people since have actually messaged me and asked me about my thoughts regarding that. And for some reason I've decided to espouse those observations out here in this terrible weather, which thankfully is not raining at the moment, but it was absolutely pouring down earlier. So why I've decided to do that probably says a lot more about my personal well-being, but maybe that is a maybe that's a different sort of video. Anyway, so aside from my mental state, the Ford Mustang Mach-E. Well, the thing about that car is that, you can see what they're doing. I mean, Mustang is a name that Ford owns, so you can't blame them for using it. You can see that, for example, the market for those kind of cars is diminishing. Camaro hasn't had a fantastic couple of years, although Mustang continues to be the world's best-selling sports car, so that's doing really well, which says a lot about the brand plate and the brand name. It does really well. It's got a lot of heritage, a lot of history, a lot of affection. People like me absolutely love it. So you can see what they're trying to do, and it isn't unprecedented. I mean, you see what BMW have done with the Mini brand. They've extended it in all kinds of directions, and of course there's lots of people out there that cynically will be critical of what BMW is doing with Mini and moving it in different directions, and it's too big and it's an off-roader and this and that. But the fact is that it's selling. They all have personality, they all have character, they're all generally fun to drive, and it's done well. Apart from the Mini Clubman, which has eyes that are apart from, I can't do it actually. I could do that, but I can't do the other way. But eyes sort of facing outwards for some reason. Very bizarre. But aside from that, it's done really well. So you can see that that's worked for them, and you can see why it's tempting to try that sort of route. But on the other hand, you look at what Fiat has done with the 500, wonderful little car. I have to say, I think it's successful as a 500X. I think that works because it's kind of like just a little bit more pumped up version of a little 500. Maybe the 500L doesn't work as well. So maybe that hasn't gone as well. And then of course there's a complete non-starter. What Volkswagen tried to do with the Beetle didn't work at all for them, did it? So it's a bit of a risk. It's a bit of a gamble. But I think it's a gamble that Ford have decided that they're willing to take. So then you go, they had this wonderful graphic there. If you go down there, they do a presentation, and in the presentation they show this graphic where they morph a brand new Mustang into the Mach-E shape. It's just a silhouette. They take the lines, and you can see how some of the lines are extruded and pumped up and enlarged, and you can see kind of where that resemblance might be. But it might be a little bit contrived. You might go, oh, I'm not sure about that. So I don't know. I mean, that's one thing. I think the real proof of the pudding will be in the driving, really. It'll be down to that. Because ultimately, we all know what a Mustang should sound like. It's not going to sound like that unless they pump in artificial sound into the speakers, which I think they should do. But we all know what it should drive like. And, there will be... they're already talking about the performance of the car. They're really pushing that quite heavily. They even have a simulator there, which basically catapults you down this ramp to simulate 1.5G, and I think I'll put up a video on my Instagram of that one. Actually, I might add it to the end of this. And so they're really emphasizing the acceleration, the performance, and you can see they're playing on what Tesla has done with the whole electric car thing, and that should work. And there will be a four-wheel drive version of this car, but there will be a rear-wheel drive version of the car. So really, it'll be down to when you get behind the wheel, you know. And at the moment you sit behind the wheel of that car, it does not feel like a Mustang, apart from the Mustang badge on the steering wheel hub, because it feels very futuristic, with the massive Tesla type screen in the middle and an entirely digital layout. So, but it feels nice though. It's very spacious, very comfortable. So the question will be, what does it drive like? So I think that'll be the proof of the driving, proof of the pudding, proof of the driving. Then we'll see what that is like, and then that will be really whether or not it's worked. So until then, we have to give them the benefit of the doubt. It is a fascinating vehicle. It looks really good. It's obviously very quick, and it's got a pretty stupendous range, 370 miles on it on the extended battery. So that should be very good for the car. So that's what I think. So let me know what you think. I'd love to hear your comments and your views on the car and what you think of it. Do make sure that you are following and subscribing. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. Make sure that you tell everyone else to do so as well. If you're on Instagram, please follow as well. All the other, you know, social media channels. # Brown Car Guy, easy to find me. Lovely to hear from you. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next one.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Deploy.